I want to show a clip we have from the TED talk that you did, I don't know, 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Let's just take a look at this clip and then talk about it. Could we play the clip, please?
We've made it possible to run comprehensive laboratory tests from a tiny sample or a few drops of blood that could be taken from a finger. And we've made it possible to eliminate the tubes and tubes of blood that traditionally have to be drawn from an arm and replaced it with the nanotainer.
We have made it possible to do comprehensive lab tests from a prick from the finger and to eliminate the tubes and tubes of blood.
Yeah.
In retrospect, when you look at where you are today, one test with the prick of blood, wasn't that going too far?
So we have developed hundreds of tests over the course of the last 12 years that can run a tiny sample using proprietary Theranos technology. And part of when I talk about communicating, what we need to do is we need to get that data out there. And I've talked publicly over the course of the last couple of weeks that we've made a decision now to take the data that we've generated for our FDA submissions and put it into the public domain, and we will. But since you're focused on the one test, let's talk about why we're doing that.
And by the way, it's not just me that was focused on the one test. That was sort of the story. The Theranos story was all about this one pinprick that would let you do comprehensive blood testing.
Yeah.
That was the story.
Yeah, well, I think this is what we sort of need to dissect a little bit. So when you look at Theranos, Theranos makes devices, we make chemistries, we make consumables, we make software, and we have a little tube called a nanotainer, which we use to collect our blood. We went in 2013 to the FDA and we said, we want to be the company that works on building a model for taking all of this technology that's developed under the lab framework through the FDA framework. And we believe in it so strongly because we believe in an individual's right to access their own data. And so we have been, and we've been working on that for 2 years now. What happened in the last few weeks is that we decided that we would take just the tube, not the tests, not the devices, not the chemistry, and cut it over to the FDA quality system, which meant that temporarily, as we transition, which has now been just a few weeks, we would not be using that tube to collect our samples, right? This has nothing to do with our tests.
Now you're confusing me. How many tests are you doing right now from a simple pinprick as you described in that TED Talk?
Yeah, so right now, just because of this FDA transition, we're only doing one, right?
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that we don't have the technology to do them or that we haven't done them in the past.
And are you confident that you will get the FDA approval to do the 200 that are a standard part of the draw?
Well, so there's multiple parts to this. One is the validation of those tests under the lab framework. The other one is the FDA submission. And this is an area of evolving policy that we're working to create a leadership position in. We've never talked publicly about what the status of what we're doing with FDA is because we just hadn't felt that was appropriate until we got into all of this recent press communications. But we're incredibly confident in the data that we've submitted to the agency. We've worked on it for 2 years, and we've met the standard of comparing our tubes to vacutainers, which are the big tubes that come from the arm. And we're hopeful that we'll see those.
So you feel confident that that vision you laid out 9 months ago will still happen, that you'll be able to do comprehensive tests from a single prick?
Absolutely, and we've done it in the past, and we're going to continue to do it in the future.